This is a rare instance of moral urgency.
Divestment is about the moral and political statement of saying that our universities shouldn't be profiting from climate change and from the fossil fuel industry.
The goal of divestment is not to impart an economic cost, but to make a very strong symbolic statement of the need to move from our current dependency on fossil fuels to a new economy, towards a green economy, one that's more sustainable. We're just at a point where leaving those fuels, those resources in the ground is of overriding importance. That's close to consensus, clear, strong signals from climate scientists that we have to leave it in the ground.
Especially now that we have a president that doesn't believe in climate change, this isn't just about those people that are removed from our periphery that are suffering across the world.
And I have the view that many people do. If you look at global cooling and global warming, in the 1920s they had many, many magazine covers on the big problem of the day, and that was called global cooling. Now we have global warming. I just don't believe it is man-made.
It'll go up, it'll get a little cooler, it'll get a little warmer like it always has for millions of years. It'll get cooler, it'll get warmer. It's called weather.
You know what this is? It's a snowball, and that's just from outside here.
With a president who, at his best, is going to stay neutral about climate change, we have to act upon it like right now and call upon our institutions to take a stance.
The biggest obstacle is that climate change is still this politically charged topic. And our administration, again, despite this really strong history of student activism and social justice work, doesn't want to take a political stance on climate change by divesting. Whereas we would argue that by staying invested in fossil fuels, that's just as political.
Well, as a mechanism, what would happen is that Tufts would divest from its fossil fuel holdings that are in its endowment. And that process is a little bit more complicated than it first appears.
What is divestment? The process of selling an asset for either financial or social goals. Divestment is the opposite of investment, by demanding institutions like universities, churches, and philanthropic foundations to take their money out of oil, coal, and gas companies. Instead of giving fossil fuel companies the money in our endowment and pension funds, we want to take it away. If important institutions in our society divest, saying that they want nothing to do with an industry that is destroying our communities and our future, the fossil fuel industry will lose some of its power. If we know it is wrong to profit from climate change, then we know it is wrong to profit from fossil fuels.
Where divestment campaigns have been successful is where they've really carried a clear overriding sense of moral urgency. So a classic example would be divestment from South Africa.
Tufts University students strongly supported the South African divestment movement to end apartheid and eventually held a sit-in similar to the sit-in for fossil fuel divestment in 2015.
The university had decided not to vote on the issue of divestment, and so in the spring of 2015, our campaign was joining a national movement calling for escalation of divestment campaigns, and we felt like a sit-in, takeover of President Monaco's office was a great way to raise noise for our campaign and get the conversation starting again.
I definitely think that everything that has happened at Tufts University in terms of our climate change policy and sustainability since then has been a result of the sit-in.
Well, I was struck by the considerable support among the student body, not just for divestment, for doing something about climate change, but willingness to take risks and to take steps that went beyond the routine. Went beyond what was going to be expected.
So divestment isn't something that's just happening at Tufts. It's a global movement. Institutions, people, other universities, churches, cities from across the world are removing their investments from the fossil fuel industry.
Many schools across the country, like Stanford and the UMass system, have already pledged to divest from fossil fuels. Tufts is one of many in the Boston area, including Northeastern, BU, Harvard, MIT, who are already working towards fossil fuel divestment. We are part of a larger movement.
If you're interested in fighting climate justice in your community, think about joining a divestment chapter near you.